Hello, my bonny bairns, and welcome to Not So Straight Talk. This week on the panel, we are joined by the bearded beauty and currently studying at the Leeds Conservatoire, Miss Jazz Hot.
Hello, how are we?
The Slovakian siren, although she's more like the Scouse slut, Miss Chrissy Friday.
You're right, love. Hi.
And the fat slag from Kelly, although she is on a diet. Well, actually, she's on 3. There wasn't enough food in the first one. Miss Sasha Blaze.
Hello. Hi. Can I do that again?
Do you want to do that again, really?
Can I do that again?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, here we go. And the fat slag from Kelly, although she has told me to tell you she's on a diet. Well, actually, she's on 3. There wasn't enough food in the first one. Miss Sasha Blaze.
Ta-da!
Oh, that's good. You've made it this time.
I know.
I wondered why we had a practice 2 nights ago and then a practice just before the live.
Well, I thought I'd get like a wee warning. By the way, you're about to be on a camera thing there. I was looking over there.
Well,
You
look,
think the introductions would be a warning, but okay.
no.
I didn't have my glasses on. So that's the excuse.
Yeah.
It's the
The
excuse.
fact that said, right, it's time. So bring you all off and remember what happens. Then waited a minute, then played the opening titles, and you were then the last one. So you had me going, Miss Jazz Hot, Chrissy Friday. You're the last. I'm going to move forward a wee bit.
I block out the majority of the things that you say. So
I'm not surprised. Right. Oh, hello, Lewis. How are you? And hello, Emma. It's lovely that you've joined us. What are you doing commenting?
Just say hello to people.
she's getting the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, do you want to sort of introduce yourselves? Let our lovely viewing public know who you all are.
Sure.
No.
No, but we'll start with Miss Jazz Hot then. I don't know why I moved the mouse to point at you because no one else can see that. So, Miss Jazz Hot, tell us a wee bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Miss Jazz Hot. I am a musician. I am currently studying a master's degree in music at Leeds Conservatoire, and I play the saxophone in drag. And I've been known on occasion to have 2 saxophones at the same time. That's right, bitch. I'm bisexual.
How
Most
long
people
is it
just call it greedy.
What's that, Hen?
Most people just call it greedy.
Most people just call it versatile, but oh well.
I call it a talent.
And what about you, Sasha?
What?
Introduce yourself.
I'm Sasha.
Is this all we're getting?
Is that it?
I'm Sasha.
What
Oh,
more
wait,
can
wait.
you? Sorry,
We
hold
picked
on.
a strong panel for this evening, didn't we?
Hold on. Hi, my name is Miss Sasha Blaze. Miss is because I'm single and desperate, not as desperate as F. I don't quite play the saxophone like Jazz up there. I play the dick.
At least she's honest.
And that should tell you, just in case you were wondering, this is a show aimed at adults 18/16 plus, and may contain 18 and may contain strong language, offensive content, and some content that some sensitive viewers may find offensive.
Madeline
Right.
McCann.
Hello, Jackie.
Now I've got to put her up.
Lady, I feel attacked.
But what about you, Chrissy?
Well, what else to say? I mean, you said it all. I'm a slag, and that's about it. No, I'm joking. I moved to beautiful Liverpool about 10 years ago, and then I realized, fuck, it's Liverpool. No, I'm joking.
I felt like that when I was working there for a month. But yeah, I'm back to working. Oh fuck, it's Liverpool.
I mean, I love Berlin. Like, I love performing in Berlin. It's just, oh, amazing. But yes, I currently just finished my musical theatre degree. So you're looking at a musical theatre practitioner, graduate. So as I said, I do musical theatre. I've been doing performances since I was yay big, so about 5. And then I just kind of grew up and just became this creature that you see in front of you. I mean, it took me a long time to, perfect myself, to be myself. But then drag just allowed me to be myself, innit? And then I'm doing this. Hey.
Because you've got nothing better to be doing this Saturday night now.
I mean, there are a couple of things we can do, but
Not in
It's not
lockdown.
bad.
Not in lockdown.
I mean, girl, I'm fucking steaming. Oh,
Gagging for it in.
honestly. The last time I had chlamydia was about 5 months ago, so that tells a lot.
The only clapping I'm getting is my arse cheeks when I got the sales.
So,
So what about
we'll move on
yourself,
to our
Effie?
your submitted topic, which was via the Instagram questionnaire, and I think it was from Lewis, but I could be wrong. Who are your drag idols and why?
Anti-Effie.
Oh, thank you.
Christ, I'm awfully drunk.
Oh, she's drunk already. Got a whole show to do.
Can
love.
I take it back, actually? Can I take that back?
No, you can
Right.
say another
No.
one, but you can't take it back.
Prince Andrew.
But Big Sasha. Blair says hello to you.
Hello, Blair.
Hi there. Welcome.
No, I mean, it is, with a lot of people being sort of locked down and stuff like that, it is quite sort of funny that there's quite a few people that are actually getting to make it to 100 now, because, the standard age is going up, or whatever you call it. So at 100, they get a letter or a telegram from the Queen. And when you turn 13, you get a text from Prince Andrew.
What was that? What was that joke? Prince Philip's with COVID-19 and Andrew's with Amy 14.
I love how we're 5-6 minutes in, and I know it was me that started it. A hand up to me that started it, but my last comment was, "Let's try not to say anything libelous."
Fuck, it's the fucking Queen's son. Fuck him.
Straight to the royal family, innit?
Listen, babe, I'm not being funny, but I don't think Prince Andrew gives a shit about a bunch of cross-dressers calling him a pedo.
No, he likes it.
Like that.
So, what about you, Jazz? Who are your drag idol icons and inspirations?
Oh, the first third person that comes to mind is actually Cheddar Gorgeous from Manchester.
Mhm.
I
Wow.
absolutely adore her. I also adore her drag daughter, someone who I consider a friend, Donna Trump. I adore them. I think they're incredible, and they're just such smart people who talk about such amazing topics. I watched Cheddar Gorgeous' TED Talk on drag and like how great it is to be a drag queen, and it's so good. And in terms of like performance, it makes me laugh every time I watch their videos. I absolutely love, even though they're not a performer anymore, Lily Savage. I fucking adore her videos. Like, I've Googled all, YouTubed them all. Just hilarious. And from America, I think people like Sasha Velour as well, for the same reason, kind of as Cheddar and Donna. Like, just they're all amazing performers. And bearded queens, I have to give it to my late partner, Shona Bobby. So they're the ones that made me do drag, and it's their fault I'm here doing this.
So we know who to blame.
Yeah, in your tits in, hen.
Can I just say I wasn't on your list? I'm a wee bit insulted.
And what about you, Chrissy? What are your inspirations or drag icons?
Well, as Jazz already said, Cheddar. Cheddar was on my list as well. I met Cheddar about 5 years ago when I was still in Manchester Gay Pride, and yeah, I was just so fascinated by her and her drag, as you just said. It's wow, amazing. So yeah, just kind of push the boundaries of drag and gender and art combined into one thing, but also hungry from Berlin. She does like, well, you know who she is. She does like this weird creature art expression on her face, and the body thing just goes with it. And when I performed and then I seen her in Berlin, I was just like, "The is that?" And then I was like, I want to be a friend. I fucking love you. I love you. So yeah, I know she's not technically a drag queen, but I have to say Gaga. I mean, come on, it's Gaga. She's been doing drag for years. So she's technically a drag queen. But from America as well, Bianca Del Rio. Her comedy's fucking phenomenal. And when we were backstage back in Heaven in Liverpool, when she was performing, she was literally there on my birthday, for my 19th birthday, and that wasn't even planned. I was like, girl, it's my birthday, say something. And she's like, okay, bitch, let me read you. So literally, she put me on stage and started reading me. I was like, I love this. So we kind of kikied. But yeah, also, I think Alyssa Edward, because it's just Alyssa Edward.
She's not got many. She's not got many.
Oh, wow. Wow.
But none of them's got Prince Edward, so put your list away.
Prince Edward has a lot for theatres.
He did.
And he used to have a thing for tea. He must have had some sort of sponsorship deal where he'd get into theatres with a box of tea. But he does do a lot for tea.
He also had a thing for the youth theatre.
No, that's Prince Andrew.
Oh, I forget.
Prince Edward's the youngest one. The one that's married to Sophie, the one that's into sort of theatres and just sort of like you don't hear much about. He just sort of plods along.
The one that everyone is 90% sure is gay.
They said that about me.
Keep it.
I was going to be like, Blair, we'll come back to your comment later on because it's one of our things on the list. However, it technically is what we're next to do. So 2 seconds. And I don't know how this works both ways, but we'll see. Oh, it does it right. Okay, so who do you all want to win Drag Race UK? I'm still putting my money in, like naming the envelope on Lawrence Chaney.
Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence.
If it's not Lawrence, then Taste. I don't know why, but Taste is just.
Oh no! I would let Taste win other things, right?
Anyone win?
I watched Taste perform in Glasgow at Delmonico's. What's it called? At Suck Harder, which is the name of the show. Don't worry, I'm not trying. Wasn't anything like that.
It's also something that happens that night. So just
the show is called Suck, and once a month they have a monthly special guest come along, and they call it Suck Harder. And that month was Taste, and they are to this. I still think about it to this day. It was 2 years ago. One of the most incredible performances I've ever watched. But so my money is on Taste, Lawrence Chaney, and Ellie Diamond, because Ellie Diamond can do no wrong in my eyes, honestly.
What about yourself, Effie? What do you think?
I already said Lawrence.
Is that it?
Yeah. Lawrence, like, my money was in Lawrence beforehand, and I still do think Lawrence. There's others that I sort of like and think could do well and could win, but I still think now that we've had the week that I expected to maybe be the week that Lawrence struggled with, because that's now passing to go over that. Once we hit like the design challenges and the comedy challenges and stuff like that, I expect Lawrence, if he's not winning those challenges, to do really well.
Mhm.
I actually thought
Um,
Lawrence was going to do well in the musical, to be fair.
I thought she did as well. It wasn't.
She was funny.
It wasn't the best, but you could tell she was trying her best, which I think is
Yeah,
half the
That's
battle.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
But I thought initially going into it, I thought she'd have been fine.
Did anyone else not think that Jenny Lemon should have been in the top? I thought she was.
I mean, come on, with that, yeah.
It was hysterical.
See, if I had
yeah.
my way, Jenny Lemon would already have won.
Yeah.
And
My
I'd be
pick
happy.
for
Every year,
honestly,
every season I would go for the crown.
honestly, my pick for Miss Congeniality is Jenny Lemon's arse. That is the funniest reveal I've ever seen. It's just
I
like,
know, right?
it's the same dress.
It's actually, I'm not gonna say a rip-off. I think it's inspired from Acorn Antiques the musical. I would literally 99.9% say it's Acorn Antiques the musical, because you come out dressed basically as Mrs. Overall, and Mrs. Overall's song Macaroons, the ones that you may or may not have seen me do, my song about don't have sex with a cup of tea. That's what she does in it. She does the big reveal and pulls off the penny to be wearing the same penny underneath.
I like it.
So yeah, but I thought it was a great way of doing it, of doing a reveal that's not a reveal.
Mhm.
But still a reveal.
It counts.
But you know, it was a way of sort of like turn that reveal in its head. It wasn't just a case of, oh look, I'm wearing two outfits. It's like, oh, you want me to do a reveal? Surprise! It's the same thing. I'm going to put Emma's comment up only because I think we spoke about this privately as well. She says, I feel Rue has already made her decision.
Yeah.
And that's what concerns me, because there does seem to be an awful lot of Lawrence love coming from Rue in the first two episodes. I'm slightly worried that maybe he's not going to win because there's so much Lawrence love, but it's still who I really think, at the moment, I really think will win and would like to see win.
I kind of wish. Sorry, I kind of wish Rue wasn't like that, and she would actually make it as objective as possible, because I think it would. Lawrence really does deserve to win, but I don't want her to win because Rue just has a thing for her. I want her to win because she just deserves it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
of course.
But that's what I mean, because there is so much like Rue love coming at the moment.
But that's like they gave Crystal so much of this. Mullet and all that, and she didn't win. Like I don't know. Everyone's get their favourites.
That's what sort of worries me, because I want Lawrence to win so much, and I love seeing all the positive attention that she is getting from the judges. I'm like, but if you give her too much and make it too much about how much you love her, you're not going to let her win, because then we're going to say, well, we knew that in episode 1. Oh, sorry. But I really do hope she does win. And if she does win, maybe I'll get my Dame hoops back, but I'll not talk about it. Still get my hoops.
Yeah, I also really want Ellie to win as well, because she's just such a sweet person, and she's given me lots of tips on wig styling, so this is her fault.
Blame it.
Yeah, but she is just lovely and incredible, and I'm glad that she got her Instagram back. God, that situation.
It took a while, but yeah, it was great that she actually got it back.
Yeah, I was really happy about that. Good on that Aster girl for getting on the live with those boys and giving them something.
I thought they were cute.
Is there any more comments that you have on Drag Race UK? The last couple of episodes, but specifically the Rat Race.
Justice for Joe. Justice
for Joe. Yeah.
Yes. I was really shocked when I saw that Joe was in the bottom, because I don't think they were winning outfits, but I thought, they're fine. She's safe. I thought it was going to be Tia Coffee in the bottom instead. Because sorry?
I'm growing to love her. I really like her.
I really like Tia Coffee as well, but I thought she was going to be in the bottom because...
Oh, yeah.
as much as I
Within the
appreciate her
challenge, yeah.
doing, as much as I appreciate the fact she did an Alan Turing outfit, I was just like,
It was a basic Alan Turing.
it wasn't. I'm sorry, there was as much Alan Turing as that in that as there was Queen Latifah. I'm just saying. Honestly, God, it was just like, ooh, binary code in my suit,
Boom.
and it was just, and like, ooh, chains.
Like, I think
I-
it was a great Alan Turing outfit when it's explained.
Yeah,
You shouldn't have
like-
to explain it.
Alan
Whereas I
Turing
feel that
wore a suit with binary codes on it. He wore tweed. If we're going to go into specifics, he wore tweed.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but what I mean is, looking at that, you're not going to go, "Oh, it's Alan Turing." Whereas looking at Joe's David Bowie is clearly David Bowie.
That was.
Right.
I
It's
love
David Bowie for American Horror Story. David Bowie for there was another. Basically, there's been multiple TV shows that have referenced David Bowie or tried to do a David Bowie inspired character, and that's the look they've used. But then it's not commercial enough.
Lady Gaga literally wore an outfit for the David Bowie tribute, and it was literally that outfit.
She did.
And Drag Race US literally had that outfit as well from Peppermint when she was trying to do like the Lady Gaga outfits.
Yeah.
And it was just like, Michelle, you really, really looked at that and thought, it's not Bowie enough. You've seen it about 4 fucking times, Hen. What are you on about?
Exactly. I don't know in what universe she thought that.
Should have gone to Specsavers, Hen.
Justice for Joe, I know.
Justice for Joe Black.
Justice for Joe.
Justice for Joe.
So,
I'm
in terms of
one-line campaign.
in terms of episode 2, though, what were your thoughts on the musical, on the runways, on anything in general, any sort of drama happening?
Well, I love the characters. I love that they just took in this Cats musical because that's what they were basically doing. They were doing like a rip-off version.
Yeah.
So loved it. Absolutely loved it. Loved the concept. Loved the way that Tia assigned the roles. She did very well.
Yeah.
I loved Veronica's vocals, and I love the characterization. I mean, come on, that bitch deserves to be Elphaba.
Yeah.
Let her be Elphaba.
Yeah.
I love how everyone in the first season, everyone was like, "Oh, it's Victoria. She's not gonna like. People don't know her." Like, and then that, and everyone's like, "Oh, we love Victoria. Victoria's so good. Don't be two-faced."
Sasha and then Veronica.
Veronica Green. Victoria, who the fuck's Victoria?
Victoria. I am Vicky, your eyes.
Sasha, Hen, do your fucking research.
I got the
No,
V.
No, but I do like. But I think you normally do get someone in each season that is a wee bit like that. Whereas where people go, "Oh, who are you? Oh, I've never heard of you, so you must be nothing." That actually are really good, and you know that yourselves with working the number of queens that there is in the UK that don't get the recognition that they deserve a lot of the time.
Yeah. But what I don't understand about people not recognizing Veronica, she was literally on telly altogether now. She was literally on a BBC talent show and with Davina De Campo.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
it was
but
just
she was
like,
on it as a contestant rather than.
I get that, but it was still she was still there. Do you know what I mean?
Counts.
That's it.
Like it trended for a while, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
But my other favorite part of the whole thing, though, was Jenny Lemon getting one of the characters' names wrong. It was meant to be something in distance range. She went Diphtheria.
The show.
That's probably why she wasn't in the top, purely because she said the wrong fucking name.
I mean, we've all said the wrong name at some point in our lives.
Aye, Sasha.
I do it now. I do it drunk. I do it sober. I'm forgetful.
That's just you, darling.
When you get old, things slip, and memory is one of them. And your bills.
Sasha, you're the same age as me. What are you on about?
How old are you, love?
If you put us two together, nobody met us out of drag, you would just go, "Oh, that's his mum." I'd just be standing there going, "Yeah."
They'd look at Auntie Effie out of drag and be like, "Oh, that's his great step auntie."
Looking at Effie going, I know her from somewhere. Turns out she went to school with Anne Frank.
I did. I read a book as well, but I was very disappointed. It just finished. The Nats are coming up there.
Stop stealing jokes, Effie. Stop stealing jokes.
Oh,
Sasha.
we're going to get cancelled.
Sasha, that is my whole fucking act. It's a Pando fucking game. It's just the same old shit regurgitated.
Oh.
So anyway,
So,
Drag Race US.
right,
That's
season
happening.
13.
Yeah, that's happening
Yeah.
at the same
Oh.
time.
Candy is doing my tits in.
I kind of like Candy. Like, I know what you mean,
Oh,
but I was a big
yeah.
fan of her beforehand, so it's just like, she's still good.
For me,
Well,
she's going in the same
oh.
category as Silky and Eureka. Did my tits in. Want them to fuck off.
No,
I
I
don't like
can
Rosé.
understand that.
I don't like
No, see, I
Rosé.
do.
Rosé is absolutely doing my
Like
tits in.
Rosé.
No, she does my tits in. Do you know what it is? It's because she looks like a twunk Shane Dawson, and I didn't like him.
A twunk.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? She looks like Shane Dawson and has the
A
cunty
chunky twink.
personality with Jeffree Star. So it's like
What's a twunk?
I see.
twunk, like a
chunky twink.
punky
Twink and a
twink.
honk.
Oh,
Twink and a honk.
I a twunk. I'm a twunk.
No.
You're
No.
a twunk.
But yeah.
Oh, it's no close.
Yeah, Rosé. She's talented, but she just seems a bit arrogant to me, and I'm just like,
I just look at her and all I can see is Jan. I look
Yeah,
at her.
I was
Jan.
just gonna say Jan.
Aye.
Jan.
yeah, it's that
all
kind
about
of.
Dagmar and all that, but there's a difference between taking techniques and whatever and then going, I'm going to be like you.
Mm,
But
that's
would you have felt like that if Rose had been on last season and Jan on this season? Would it be the same comment you've been making about Jan as you are about Rosie?
Well,
You know
to
what I
be
mean?
fair, to be fair to them, Jan, Rosé, and another queen called Blue Lagoon are part of a girl group,
that's
and
it.
they
Uh-huh.
look the same. It's like
Same,
the
yeah,
whole
they've
shit.
got the
So
same
like,
style, yeah.
yeah, but like, if they're going to be performing together as a unit, they've got to look similar, don't they? So
Exactly.
so they've been influencing each
Well,
other. So
fuck
it's
the
not-
investigators then. They've got to all look similar.
I got none of that, Effie.
I said, well, fuck the investigators. You think drag troops all have to look similar?
Well,
We blame the fans who don't look similar.
Nobody's
the thin young one.
No,
The
I wasn't
thin old
saying it-
one
I
and
wasn't-
the fat, talentless one.
I wasn't saying they've got to be similar. I'm just saying when you got three drag queens who are constantly working with each other, they're going to bounce off of each other and influence each other. So it's not that much of a surprise that Rosé and Jan have pretty much the same aesthetic.
I
Yeah.
think there's so
Yeah.
much looking the same.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but
You know what I mean? That's like me and Anna have worked together for a year now. We've done gigs, whatever. And
Mm.
she doesn't exactly look like me, does she?
No.
no
she at
comment.
least is age.
Do you think it's also a style of drag where a lot of queens do end up looking the same anyway? Like
Nowadays we do.
How many sort of like younger queens would look at me, Sasha, and queens that do what we do and say we all look the same?
I am a young queen. Thank you.
No, but the type of performance you do is that more sort of like older style cabaret.
Oh,
So I
I
think-
think drunk. I'm no fussed.
Aye. So that's what I mean. They look at like us and like the Blackpool queens that do that sort of thing and stuff like that, and think we all look the same. And I'm pretty sure we've looked at a couple of them and thought they look like carbon copies a lot of the time.
Mm.
Because there is a lot of what becomes sort of popular with maybe sort of like certain drag looks, you do see replicated quite a lot.
Yeah.
So people can be very
Oh, in a
different,
way.
but end up looking the same like how you're looking at it, it can be all, they all look the same.
I mean, it's just it's just about the trends, isn't it? You know,
yeah,
monkey see, monkey do. It's not a surprise that people are influenced off of each other. It's just what matters is the person.
One day, comedy queens will come back. One day.
It's just
One
so
day.
It's just I have zero issue with the fact that Rosé and Jan look alike. I just have an issue with the fact that Rosé is a bit of a prick.
You're a bit of a prick.
I know, but I'm honest a minute. I'm also talentless, so it's funny. But yeah, it was just she just kind of rubs me the wrong way. That's what it is. I absolutely cannot get enough of Tamisha Iman. Honestly, cannot get enough of her. She's incredible. Also, who was it? There was another one whose outfit I really, really liked in the recent episode. I think it was Gottmik. Yeah, it's Gottmik. I really like her.
Another one.
I will admit I do fancy Gottmik a wee bit.
Oh, she's got this amazing jawline on her, doesn't she?
She does. But yeah,
I don't like the majority. Irritating.
Sorry?
I don't like the majority of the new season US queens. I like Tina Butler, and that's me.
I was trying to remember that later. Yeah, I noticed it on Drag Race UK, but especially on the season 13. And it was also in an article somewhere. There's an awful lot of people who are playing Drag Race now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're going in there and they're trying to get their soundbite and their catchphrase and their merch. And they know how the TV show works in terms of not just what the competition is, but how the TV show works and what you do after that. So people are going in with trying to get the villain edit or trying to get the miscongeniality edit, or, you know, and make sure that they're saying things and everything's thought out to be a catchphrase and a soundbite.
Yeah. I feel like a few people have kind of done that on Twitter about Lawrence Chaney, which I find hilarious because that's literally just who she is.
Yeah, that's what we were saying the other day. Like she's being her. She's being her.
That is the person. That's the person I've seen. That's the person I've seen at Polo Lounge. The person I've seen at Delmonico's. The person I've seen at McDonald's and AXM. Like that's who she is. That's what she's like.
Yeah.
She just slacks fuck it to everybody and thinks she is the shit. Which fair dues to her. Look at her. I know. Like the only difference between me and her is that she's incredible and I'm just a wee twat in a wig.
No, but that's it. Like Lauren's just a lovable character. She's just being real, and you don't really see that as often on Drag Race season that the queens are being themselves. Yeah, they say they're being themselves, but you know.
Yeah, like her on the runway chatting back to Sheridan Smith. I'll show you my shag pipes. Fucking comedy gold. Shag pipes to shag pipes. I'll show you my shag pipes. Comedy gold, she is.
She would show them.
You know she would. But yeah, so what did you think of the challenge for season 13?
Not really. I mean,
they're running out now.
The Hallmark movies.
The Hallmark. I love a Hallmark movie. I think they're so good. They're so shit. They're good. I love them.
The Hallmark.
And there was quite a few performances I really did enjoy. I really enjoyed Candy Muse. I thought she was hilarious. I thought Simone was great. Simone's outfit in the runway, I was obsessed with.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I will say though, I don't understand why Kimora was in the bottom. I get that she wasn't getting the cue, but overall it was fine. I thought Elliot was worse.
Oh, they're all worse.
Oh, Elliot, yeah. I don't think.
I thought it should have been Elliot and Lalaurie. Because like, well, Denali was bad. I think Lalaurie and Elliot were just meh.
Flatline.
And like, yeah, it was just like I was just bored. I think. Plus, Elliot's outfit was kind of crap because it was basically what Shea Coulee wore with the White Party episode, but with a train.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Choo choo, motherfucker.
Motherfucker. Where the fuck did you go, you cow?
Yeah, can we just appreciate? Sorry.
I had to go and sort something.
Should I go do a wee cheeky shite?
I thought I could smell something.
Oh. But yeah, can we just appreciate that Kimora's outfit was just I just that
I didn't
train.
On the train at first when she came out, I went, oh, she's not got a train on. She's not got a train on.
And then she turned around, I was like, oh yeah.
I'm like, fair enough.
Oh, it was stunning. It was so good.
I just love when queens dig into tap into their heritage, to their culture, if that's applicable, and just work with who they are.
Yeah.
I'd be dressed
I love that.
You dressed up what?
a junkie.
Well, that is Kilmarnock, so you probably would be.
What would you use as a
Be.
What would you use as a train though? You'd have to stick bin bags and a bunch of baby dolls on it. Do you know what I mean? Just like, that's my wings.
I would put fake babies on it and pull it. I went, I can't afford a pram.
They just put them on a string, just little lasso. That's your train. Just like, oh, I'm going that way.
I'm actually hurt that nobody came out dressed as a train. That's what I'm hurt at.
I know. I said to my wings, I'd bring him on a steam train, so I just got some steaming and stuck him to that.
Tina Burner come out in the conductor outfit and had a train track for a train. But
I want a train.
Yeah, like,
that was cool.
As I started watching it, I was like, I would have loved to have had designed someone to come out as a train and as they sort of pull the cord to go choo choo, it all sort of like fell away into a huge long train.
Yeah.
If only you were.
But that's just me with my panto brain and over.
Does anyone else not think the
Trying to bite
train
off
one?
more than the choo.
Does anyone else not think the train runway was a bit of a carbon copy of last season with cakes? It was just like a long bit of fabric.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's what it is. It's just regurgitated now.
There's only so much you can do before you have to recycle.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. They should have it just, to send them out in the wild and just bring someone back and ask them to design their outfit, and that would be the challenge, to teach them to do drag.
Mm-hmm.
To do their drag, I mean. So imagine they would just snatch someone off the street and like, you're going to help me today, and they're going to sew their outfit, and that should be the challenge.
Yeah, it should be. I think,
carry on.
honest to God, I think the best example of drag nowadays is Dragula. I think it's incredible.
Love Dragula. Oh my God. They
Like the Halloween special they did where they went to them. Unreal. Unfucking real, honestly.
I mean, I don't know if you've watched the first season of Dragula.
Yes.
But Dali, I knew Dali when he was in Blood on the Dance Floor. Like, I was a massive fan. And then when they split up as the band, I was really devastated. But then I seen her start doing drag, and all of a sudden I was in love with her once again. But she took it like to that punk goth kind of drag, and I just it's something that you don't see as much as you should.
Do you know what was one thing I really wanted out of the runway of this episode of Drag Race UK? I wanted someone to do Cilla Black.
Oh.
Surprise, surprise! Do you know what I mean? Just come out dressed as Cilla Black.
Well, you still get Snatch Game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
But yeah,
What do you think they're going to do?
Surprise one, a night of 1,000 Cillas.
Yeah.
I've got the wig. I've got the wig ready.
I mean, do you know what would be really gag? If they would allow, or if queens would just, if they have like, same character, or 2 or 3 queens doing the same character, let them on the show. Let the battle it out on stage. I would love to see that. Like,
What,
you know,
just
when we
fight?
had you are.
Just fight.
Well, not I, but you know, let's see who's that. You know, if you're doing the same character, okay, I'm not gonna back down, she's not gonna back down. There you go on stage and let us decide. Let's see
I
who's
know.
better.
Two people having the same character for Snatch Game, fucking square go. Do you know what I mean? Although I will say though, speaking of that, I thought the first episode where Chase and Estina like found out they were doing both doing Naomi. I love the fact there was no like ill will. It was just purely like, yeah, there wasn't much for us to do, and it was just a mutual understanding. I thought that was really nice. I thought it was really sweet. It was just a mutual understanding of difficulty relating to gay icons growing up.
That's it. I know.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you can tell they were trying to like make it out and try to make it this drama, but it was just purely like, yeah. Oh, cheers, Lee Hen.
Oh no! You
Done
need
then.
What did it say? That's unfair.
She was saying, Lee was saying that your eyes are gorgeous.
Mine.
Eyes. No.
Oh, hers. Oh, bitch.
Is it Jazz or is it Jezebel?
It's jazz.
Just jazz. Just jazz.
Oh, me, Miss Jazz, hot me, bitch. Sasha, you got a comment?
Oh, fuck off. I mean, feel free to read it to me.
Oh, it says, Sasha, where do you perform in Kelly? We feel the need to add that to our list for when we are allowed out the house. Laughing emoji.
Oh.
Behind a bin at the Kilmarnock bus station.
Never. Well, if we're going to go that far, I do Drag Bingo monthly at First Edition. I used to do it at Seven Saints, but that's shut due to problems. And I'll also be at the Park Hotel with my show, Still Fat, Still Single.
And she's ready to mingle.
Oh, fuck, yes, she is. So come see me. Why don't you come up and see me sometime, eh? Don't think anybody else can come on the camera.
Why don't you come up and smack me in the face sometime? Oh.
You used to be able to see me at the back of Baker's nightclub. Oh. The things I did.
She's back.
It's more when I'm trying to read like different comments and like information things. I just sort of come off so you don't have a whole load of me going, what the fuck?
Do you know what she's actually doing? She's shutting it off so she can have a fag, so she doesn't look as if she's.
No,
I think she was just having a quick
taking
one.
drugs. She's shut up.
I know.
Have a listen, right? So, any more comments about Drag Race before we move on to It's a Sin?
Yeah.
I mean, that's it for
That's good.
now.
Justice for Joe.
Yeah, justice for Joe, exactly.
Justice for Joe.
JBLM. Joe Black's life matters.
I think Joe Black will do quite well, though. I think Joe will do quite well. Because he already was very established beforehand. And
Oh, yeah.
Right, and she was great.
Yeah,
Well, I
Joe
bet-
Black's been touring and doing all these amazing things beforehand. This is just going to... There's no way
Like-
Joe Black's not going to benefit from
It's
this.
just like another thing
Yeah.
for his CV. Just like
basically, he's
enough.
still going to do what he does. And there's just going to be a couple of more audience members. Because as we've said like in the Vesalize before, as soon as you're announced, you've doubled your fee and you've doubled your audience anyway. No matter how you're doing the show, just the fact that you're announced and then people will pay double the fee just because they can put in the poster, RuPaul's Drag Race, da-da-da.
That's Jazzy's fee up to 20 quid.
That's it.
I wish it was...
It's a
I
bit
wish it was
generous.
She's getting
Joke's
the
on
money.
you. Joke's on you, Hen. Double or nothing, still fucking nothing.
So
Oh.
Channel 4 released they released the full series on all four, and episode 1 of the new Russell T Davies series, It's a Sin, was at 9 o'clock last night. You can catch the full series on all four, because we'll talk about the series in more detail next week. However, any thoughts on the first episode, or shouldn't people watch it?
I loved it.
Yeah,
I really
loved
enjoyed
as
it.
well.
Yes.
I love the fact that it touched in one episode. In the first episode, it touched on a spectrum of gay issues and on spectrum of from different backgrounds that were going on back in the 80s. Like, you know, she just walked out because her family were praying for him to cure the gay, and I just felt so sorry for him, because I know that people went through that. I was lucky enough when I was in Hollyoaks as an extra. You know, when they did the Pride episode, they went to like drag queens and all that.
In there when I was in
When I was in Hollyoaks.
That's like Effie when I won Pantomime of the Year in 1987.
2016, and get it right, it's Scotland's finest pantomime game.
Listen, Hen, I can one up you. I'm in the background of a promotion for steam pipes, or pipeworks rather.
I can win. Glasgow Pride 2019. I was interviewed at the Central Station for a programme on BBC about Central Station, but I was too drunk. So when they put it on air, it was me going like that.
Actually, wasn't it? There's a shot of me in that documentary during the Pride episodes with my pals. It's really funny.
Don't take this moment away from me, Jazz. I was there. I was
there.
You threw the first brick at Central Station, Hen.
Remember when all the glass came in at one point years ago? That was me.
So I was fortunate enough to meet someone who actually went through the whole conversion and shock therapy. He was in his 60s, and you know, he went through all of that. And I can never feel and, you know, imagine what it must have been like, how people felt back then, because, you know, there was so much stigma and so much shame, because, you know, they've been just bombarded from their loved ones, from their own families, that it's disgusting, that it's unnatural, that it's a sin, you know, title of the show, that it's a choice. And, you know, we know today that it isn't, but back then it was illegal. You couldn't express love for one another. You couldn't express love for the people that you love. And we're lucky. We're very lucky.
Yeah, I think people forget as well, being gay wasn't legalized in Scotland until 1980. So it
there
was.
You go. That's only 30 years ago. Oh, sorry, 40.
40 years ago.
Effie was in her 50s at the time.
I mean, back in Slovakia, where I'm from, it's not illegal, but you can't marry. You can't feel safe on streets. If you will do all this in there, you will get probably killed or shot, because it's not open carry state, but people still can buy guns, and you never know what kind of a dickhead will carry a gun. And, you know, I was so fortunate enough to move to UK before I even started my puberty, before I even knew who I was. So I really, really count myself lucky, because I don't know what I would be if I was still back there. I probably would be dead, or wouldn't be even out. And that's not me over exaggerating. That's an actual fact. Because I know so many people that once they hit 18, they just fuck off to a different state or a different country, because you can't be yourself in your own home.
It's tragic. Yeah.
And that's still happening until today.
Do you know what I found out though? See how in Brazil, so obviously they have Mardi Gras, all of that, gay, it's still like you can still get arrested for it, and like if you get beat up in the street for it, then whoever did it, they're not going to get prosecuted for it. I didn't know that until last year. I must have been looking at it, and then it came up saying, as much as it's a gay accepting country, it's still not legal. I was like, oh fuck. I mean,
it's just like in Morocco. It's just like in Africa as well. In Morocco, I've been there a few times, and you can't really be yourself. Well, you can because you're a tourist. But if you want to stay there, if you want to live there, you can't. That's a shame. That were in 2021 now, and there's still people getting beheaded and people are getting killed for being themselves. They're not hurting anyone. They were born that way. At the end of the day, you were born straight. Okay, we accept you, so please accept us because we're just as people as you are, and we want the same moral values as you want to have inflicted on you. So, equality.
Yeah. It's also frustrating for me to explain this to some people, but I actually have a friend whose parent offered to take them on holiday this year and was like, oh, we'll go to the X country and things. And they had to decline and just say, I can't go there. I'll be arrested. It's illegal to be gay there. And it's a frustrating thing to explain to people. Like, I have to Google whether I'm even allowed in this country before I even book a holiday. Do you know what I mean?
Also, if you look at places like Turkey is full of drag queens.
Oh yeah,
it's all British queens working there within specific villages and complexes, because as a whole, that country isn't safe for LGBT people. But the number of drag queens that work in Turkey, in places like that, because they fly over and they're in their own wee complex, and the locals that are near and in the complex don't bother with them because that's where they are. But as soon as you step out of there is a fear and a chance you could, experience discrimination.
Most definitely, yes.
However, that's also true in the UK. I mean, I work in the Tron Gate, do Pantone, do shows in here in the Tron Gate, and quite often you will see me and other drag queens that live round about having to run to Tesco or into the bakers in drag. And it's kind of accepted by the sort of like people that work in the stores round about is because they know who we are and they know that we are coming in because we're doing a show in here or at the Tron or whatever. But there's also a lot of people on the Tron Gate that would stab you for seeing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think what made me sort of lucky is the fact that I am clear when this is all on, I'm clearly a performer / a drag queen. I don't look like this because this is how I want to look and live my life.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the time there's slightly more acceptance of that if you are having to run in and buy cigarettes or a bottle of juice or something in a shop on the way to and from a gig or while you're working. But there's parts of Glasgow, Scotland, the UK that, as much as it's legal and overall socially acceptable, live and let live, that it's not appropriate in these small areas because you will be attacked or killed. Not officially, you go in there, you're going to get attacked, but areas that it's not necessarily a good idea to sort of go to. But who's still got their phone on that's trying to watch live at the same time? Because I keep getting the ding, ding, ding feedback. So you're either getting notifications or someone's got a device on.
Not
me.
Keep getting
that. Not me.
I remember in Manchester. At Pride, I was going from one gig to the next. So I was running around I don't think I had a wig on at the time. Full face, full dress, running around, and I had to go into Tesco at the time because I needed batteries for my my microphone. And I remember jumping in and out of taxis, and it was the first time I'd properly ran around Manchester like that, and I was just kind of like, I'm gonna get stabbed at one point. I'm gonna get stabbed at one point. And it was like perfectly fine. And then every time I came back, like I used to just kind of, you stick to Canal Street, you go to where you work, you do your gig, you go out in Canal Street. But now it's kind of like, oh, you can do whatever. Like you're walking back and forth. I was sitting on the train once. And you're just kind of sitting there, and nobody actually bothers in Manchester. It's really good.
They don't.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
And then
I was like, there are a lot of places that you expect to be rougher or not accepting, normally are more accepting, if that makes sense. So areas that you might say, oh, good, that's rough, you couldn't be there. Or when you're like, are normally the ones that are absolutely sort of fine with it. So like sometimes in different places, even when I'm working like in Liverpool, I've not really had to go anywhere in drag, but where I do get the most dirty looks is in the Tesco at the top of Stanley Street. Now, Stanley Street's the heart of the gay district in Liverpool. Liverpool was the first city to actually officially recognise a gay quarter.
Yeah.
And literally, this Tesco's at the top on, is it Dean Street? The Tesco in there is the only place when I've been in Liverpool.
Dale Street, yeah.
That I've got, like people looking at you weird. And I'm like, you literally know that there's a drag bar, there's a gay bar that's got drag queens performing in it. There's 3 down that street. There's 4 down that. But I'm like, how the hell is literally walking from Stanley Street onto Dale Street, turning into suddenly people looking at you funny? And I'm like, you do realise that if I walk up onto the next street, you hit another gay bar. It just seems to be this sort of Tesco, and it's nothing against Tesco or the staff in that Tesco, but it's the only place I've experienced it in Liverpool, and it's so close to like where like they're used to it. But then again, I basically spend like I leave the flat generally ready done, or I get ready at the Navy. You know what I mean? Go and do the show, leave, like go home. I don't particularly go anywhere. It's just the odd time that you're halfway through the night, you go, fuck, I've run out of fags, or I need batteries, or I need sits and suits.
Yeah.
And you run up to Tesco and you see folk looking at you funny, and you're like, how the hell do you not know what's going on round about you?
Effie, it's just you. Nobody else gets those looks. Nobody else gets threatened to get stabbed. It's you.
To be fair,
they didn't threaten to stab me. You sort of see them sort of like, look, they sort of look at you.
You're doing good.
They sort of look at you confused. I'm like, what are you doing here? I was like, I think like there's literally the bar I've just walked out of with the big sort of light up gay sign and everything.
They look at you like, oh, what a sexy MILF.
Maybe they are.
To be fair, I don't think I have so much experience bother when I'm in drag. It's purely because I do not put myself in those positions under any circumstances. Like when I first started, and I just didn't ever want to get ready or do my makeup at my house because I just did not want my neighbours seeing me, because I thought, I don't trust these people. They don't, because the people in my street, they just fought constantly. They got each other's tits constantly, and they weren't the type of people I thought would see someone out in full makeup and be like, oh, have fun yourself. Do you know what I mean? I just never so I would do my makeup in the house, put a hood up, and just like run away into my mum's car when she gave us a lift.
I used to be like that, but it just kind of changed. It eventually just changes. Now, like I had to put a face on for something the other week. And I just got a chap at my door, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And I looked out the window, and it was my neighbour across the road, and I just kind of opened it first. I went, by the way, I'm half-faced. And he's like, it's okay. And I just kind of opened it up, and there he's standing there, this big big man. Like, oh, I've got a parcel for you. Smashing. Thanks a lot. Like, they don't bat a lid anymore. It's quite good.
Aye.
I mean, then when he closed the door, he went away and went,
well, I met his wife at one of my gigs, and she just kind of looked at me. I didn't know you did this. I went, what do you think I do? You see me pack my car up at least two times a month, and I'm not there for a full working weekend. Like, where do you think I go?
Yeah.
When I fucking holiday.
Well, that's the thing with me as well. Like, I used to just get ready, just put my vest on, put a cap on, boy clothes. Or sometimes I used to like put the body on, like, cincher pads, everything, and then put boy clothes over it. And I get the bus to the clubs.
And there you go.
Oh, I done it once and never again. I was tucking and changing on the bus because I was running late and I didn't have time to, So that's it. And you always get them served. Some guys, when they're going in the clubs, like, it's the same time that everyone's going out, it's Friday or Saturday night, and they're like, what the hell's that? But then you've got the other ones where they're like, oh, yeah, do you want to, like proper impositions, like proper, if I want to suck them up on a bus, I was like, no, love.
Come back into the toilets with me. I'll show you a thing or two.
That's it.
I am not saying it's specifically a Liverpool issue, and I know it's not because you see all the
places. You know it's not specifically a Liverpool issue. We've discussed it. It's specifically an Effie issue. There's no fucking way around it. Actually, walking in. Running.
Thank you for that, Sasha. But I've noticed working in Liverpool, there is a lot more. I'm trying to think of the right term because the term that I would use isn't really appropriate. There is a lot of men who are very attracted and interested in that sort of interested in sleeping with a drag queen or a cross-dresser or a trans person. You know what I mean? It's barely when you sort of
Hunters, yeah.
Like it's barely when you look like this and you're like, you do understand that I'm an ugly man under here. I don't look particularly good looking with all this on. Right, I don't look good looking with this on, but you do understand that this is an ugly. Like, I could understand it if they were saying it to someone who looks sort of like very sort of like young and cute and feminine, and maybe they're slightly sort of they think that is fair enough. But I'm like, I look like this, right? And you're like sending like inappropriate messages, and I notice it a lot more in Liverpool. I'm not saying it's a Liverpool issue because it does happen all over the place. And it may just mean a case of because I was new there, so it's fresh meat and they're into that. I know for a lot of mates, I'm like, no, this is a job. I turn up, I put this shit on, sing a couple of songs very badly, get paid a couple of £100 and fuck off home. That's it. Like,
but that's it. Like, sometimes you can come across the nice punters when they will offer to pay you as well. Like, it happened to me a few times. I was in the club, I was just finishing up, and they're like, oh, you're pretty. And, you have a drink because you can drink throughout the night. And they were just like, what are you drinking? I was like, something expensive. Grey Goose and champagne, darling. So, I'm just, trying to get it all out of him because he's interested. And I'm like, okay, I see your money. I see a making man. You're hot. Let's talk. And buy me shit and a drink and give me money. So,
okay.
You can use that to your advantage.
I remember being in Sapphires in Blackpool, teaching a straight guy to tuck.
And Sapphires?
Oh, wow.
And Sapphires, it's so much fun.
Oh, in Sapphires, I haven't been in a long time.
It's great. I can't remember who I was with, but we were in the toilet. I was finishing rejigging.
Aye.
And this man, he went, can I just say I am straight? And I went, oh, they all are. And he went, this is going to sound weird. I went, what? He's like, what do you do with all of that? And I went, what? And he's like, down there. Like, I went, oh, tuck. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, you shove it up inside you.
And that's basically what I said. He's like, oh, I don't know. I went, basically what you do is, and I kind of went through, and I went, try it. I'm drunk as tit. Fuck. This is like 2 a.m.
That's
shit.
the best time when you're pissed.
Try it. And he's like, it's not working. It's not working. Well, you just do it. I'm standing there and I just kind of looked and I went, yeah. So in the open bit, we weren't in a cubicle. There was people walking back and forth. And this,
oh yeah,
very attractive. If he's out there, please hook me up. I love him. And I did it. And I showed him. And he went, oh, wow. And I went, oh, by the way, great penis. And he went, well, thank you so much. We kissed, we left. And I saw him in the studio later on, and he was speaking to this girl. And this girl was talking about whatever, and I walked past. I can't remember what his name was. I went, hey, Dave. And he's like, oh, all right. And she just kind of went, who are you?
Oh.
And I went, I'm Sasha, who are you? And she went, I don't know, Raquel. I went, all right, okay. Are you trying to get in about my mom? I went, your man. He went,
Your man.
he's coming home with me tonight. I then look at the guy and he's like, and I went, oh, really? And I went, have you kissed him yet? A wee bit. Oh, nice. Have you seen his cock yet? No. I went, I was just
touching
pulling it in
it.
the toilets. No, you ask him. Once him. Did you? Yeah. Fuck you, Raquel. Raquel,
Best comeback ever.
I'm going to punch you in the face, Raquel, because you're a cow. Don't know if that's your name, but you know who you are.
No, she is.
Mm.
If you're watching this, do comment down below and tell us your side of the story.
Oh. Oh, that's all we need in the launch show. Sasha causing fucking issues.
I've
Yeah.
told the story.
Always, that's all.
I followed the rules. I told the story. I didn't say anything too offensive. And I didn't imply her of doing anything. I didn't say that she was a cheater.
My jaw hurts. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking about this while you were talking.
What about me talking a straight guy?
No. I was just thinking about gay bar toilets, and I remembered, the fact that.
Oh, toilets.
But
Is
we were talking earlier about, the things that we've experienced being LGBT people, and the stigmas we've faced. And there's one thing that I have noticed in the past few months, and this was around the time when Scotland made it so that period products and feminine hygiene products were free. There was a lot of things saying like, why did they get free condoms in gay bars? That's not fair. And tying into original subject, it's a sin. It's frustrating that people don't understand that kind of thing is there because of campaigning and activism for the AIDS crisis to help people, because not everyone could afford to just always buy them at the time. Like some people needed help to be provided them. So it's kind of this thing where people think, okay, people get everything. They get everything. They get special treatment, and it's like
you couldn't get married, you bunch of bastards.
I'm just like, I have to Google countries before I book a holiday. Shut the fuck up. Do you know what I mean? It's frustrating. It's that thing of gay people get everything. So
However, I do agree that sanitary products should be free before condoms are.
Oh, absolutely. I totally get that.
I agree the both should be available and free and all that, but I do feel that sanitary products should have been available before condoms were. You make a choice to not bleed. You don't make a choice to bleed.
Choice to bleed.
I know.
Exactly.
It's just for me. For me, my frustration was just there was this added notion of like, oh, gay people get everything. Oh, people prioritize men more than women, even if they're gay, and it's just like that has nothing to do with it. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was like was the result of years of campaigning. So like,
I do think a lot of that is there anyway. Like, yes, that came from a lot of campaigning, but even with things like the AIDS epidemic and other things, if something's going to affect white males, if something's going to affect straight white males, more's going to be done about it than if it affects LGBT community,
100%.
people of color, or women. You know what I mean? But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Unfortunately.
No, they're not a luxury at all, but
no.
It's just
I think they should just make it in the entire UK and in the entire Commonwealth as well. If they've done it in Scotland, they should do it in the entire thing. I mean, come on. They don't choose that. They don't choose to be. You choose to wear a condom or not.
Yeah, I feel like part of I feel like part of the issue with free sanitary products is there's also not enough understanding of what a period really is. Because like I know quite a few people I've spoken to about this where they've been like, "Oh, I don't get why they absolutely need it," you know, blah blah blah.
What?
And so someone said to me, "Can they not just hold it in and just go to the toilet?" And I was like,
The fuck?
"No, they can. It's not like peeing. It's just there.
Fuck
It will just
clue.
happen.
Aye.
They can
Comes
have an
out.
idea of when it's going to come, but they're not
They
going
don't
to
control it.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah,
People are just so redundant sometimes, honestly. They need to educate themselves before they open their mouths.
mhm.
Very bad.
Oh,
Oh no. Oh, where did she go?
I don't know. She's probably nipped to the toilet or something. So, that's where the button.
Toilet.
That's where the button I wanted to press. So, also remember you can submit any questions that you want to talk about. So, discussion topics or questions via the comments. Also, if you're enjoying yourself and you've somehow got some extra money and you want to support the panel, the PayPal links are down below. You don't need to, as a free show, right? But if you're sitting there bored saying, "What am I going to do with this $5,000 that I've just got nothing to do with?" Feel free to pop it across to us.
I know.
It goes towards the running
Oh.
costs of the show as well as like our expenses for. It's expensive to look this cheap, obviously.
Exactly.
And different things. And if you're feeling really generous, I do have merch, but we can talk about that later.
Give me enough money so my sugar daddy
She's
doesn't
got
think I'm
mad.
there for the money. Do you know what I mean? I need a bit of money to say to him, "Look, I'm not scrounging." Do you know what I mean?
I love you.
So another question / topic that we received when we did the Instagram poll was, can drag and politics mix in a commercial setting? So
Yes.
your thoughts on that? Can drag and politics mix in a commercial setting?
I
And
don't
I'm
see why
coming
they
back
can't.
off to try and read a lot of those comments.
I think first of all, it's not quite just a case of whether drag and politics can miss. I think drag in its center and its heart is political. I was listening to the podcast by Davina De Campo, Fiercely Talks. You had Cheddar Gorgeous on, and she was talking about people doing political performances, and she was basically saying, look, there's people who don't want us to exist. There's people who, when they see us, their entire worldview is questioned. What we do, no matter what way you perform, is just political. Do you know what I mean? Because there's going to be someone who looks at me and thinks I'm a disgrace, I shouldn't be around kids, who would try to, get me fired from my job because they don't want their, family members near them. Do you know what I mean?
I think that I don't want my children anywhere near you, Jazz.
See, that's because I like kicking them. I'm just kidding. For legal reasons, that's a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke. I'm sorry, but they just,
on Nanny for hitting our wings.
again, this is a joke, but they just make good footballs. Do you know what I mean?
No,
But yeah,
I think I think there definitely is a place for political performances, and also for drag queens being advocates and spokespeople to an extent for things.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone's got their own sort of views on it and what they do. At the end of the day, for me, drag is for entertainment purposes firstly, then these additional things. If I'm going to a drag show, I'm going to be entertained, not to preach to. Now, there being a number there with a political message, not an issue, and think that's great. But at the same time, if your whole drag is about politics and politicizing it, and I think it does depend on what brought you into drag and your background as well, which will sort of change how you sort of see it. That drag and politics can mix in a commercial setting when done in an educational way and not a preaching way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very that.
It's like what happened a year ago with a certain Glasgow queen who will we not be naming, who did a drag queen story time in Glasgow and got absolutely
Okay.
lambasted by the media for it and people, and homophobes. And there was lots of anti-gay parties, like the Scottish Family Party, for example, campaigning against it and saying that they should be banned. And it's just, Mary Black, the politician who organised it and spoke with the school, went apeshit, and it's frustrating.
Wrong. That's just wrong.
Unfortunately, that was I feel as if that story was a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Emma's the wrong drag queen for it. I do think that drag queen, both as a personality and also with what their drag name is or was or whatever way, is maybe not the best choice for something like that compared to bringing someone in like ADHD who does Drag Queen Storytime UK, or bringing someone like Reba Martel or Auntie Effie or Sasha Blaze, something that is, or again, like something that is more of a sort of friendly game name than something which is a clear pun on a sexual act.
Yeah.
Am I friendly?
What? No, but like, I wouldn't say the name Sasha Blaze or Miss Jazz Hot or Chrissy Friday or Auntie Effie. You can put that on a poster and it's family friendly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So having them doing something like Drag Queen Story Time or anything like that is perfectly fine. And it's nothing against queens that have these punny names. These punny names are amazing. But it's back to knowing your audience and knowing what you're offering.
Mm-hmm.
Having the fact that a drag queen, and I understand she was chosen because she was local to that area and community, and that's all fantastic. But obviously must have known that they weren't necessarily making it easy on themselves, and were making it very easy for backlash because of the name of the performer.
I don't think it's her fault. I don't think any of that was her fault. I don't think she deserved anything that she got from that. It was who booked her.
Yeah. No, and that's I'm not saying it's her fault. And that was like, I love queens with these sort of names, but if you're trying to introduce drag to a younger audience, right now, kids are introduced to drag at an early age because 90% of families are going to take their way into the panto, right?
Yeah.
And 95% of pantos are going to have a dame in them. So for something like Drag Queen Storytime, in my opinion, the easiest way of getting into that and explaining it to have a response to comments like this inappropriate is by using, and not just because I am a dame, but using someone like that to do it.
Do you do panto?
Yes.
I would say myself,
and I did it this year as well.
I would say myself as someone who did a degree in community practice and who has experienced running workshops and working with children, there was a lot of things at that point in time when I was like, that was not correct. They shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
First of all, if I was in that situation, no matter what my name was, no matter who I was, I would have a different name for the kids. Mm-hmm. I would have like a different Instagram, different Twitter if I did that thing regularly. I would make my own.
I don't think the plan was to do it regularly. I think it was.
Yeah, I understand that, but as
like someone else has had this idea and I've booked her, rather than it being like booking Ada HD, who does Drag Queen Storytime UK. I don't think this performer intended to make this a project or an idea.
No,
I think
I'm not
someone else has an idea and booked her, but you do have to wonder what they were thinking when they book someone to do it whose name is clearly a pun on a sex act.
I'm not saying that this person would have done it multiple times. I'm just saying there were things they did was wrong, and some of that might be a result of the teachers not coming up to them and asking, "Hey, could you maybe do some of this, do some of that?" As far as I'm aware, they were PVG checks. They had they did not say the whole name. They shortened it, but it should have been completely different. But
Okay.
and apparently one of the criticisms was this performer posted a picture of them at the school on Instagram with like some kids in the background, and it was just like, no, don't ever do that. I wouldn't have done that. To be honest, for me personally, she was the wrong person for it. Sorry?
With kids in the background or with the kids?
I think it was them. It was like during them reading the stories. So like all you could see was the back of the kids' heads. But because of the fact she posted that on her personal Instagram, it was like,
I see.
I think it depends what else is on that Instagram, because again, I would say there's times where that's fine as long as the kids aren't identifiable or you've got all the permission slips and it's done as a professional promotional marketing shot of here's what we done and this is it, and she then shared that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a problem, provided that
this was on her personal Instagram.
Yeah, the rest of the content on that Instagram isn't provocative. Like there's some stuff in my Instagram that may be provocative because I'm not sure what pictures are actually there. Like if it's from like doing Diamonds a Girl's Best Friend or something like that, the dancers' costumes for that
I think it's Naomi wears.
Small. Sorry?
I think it's more what Naomi wears. It's a bit more.
Aye.
Not that I'm complaining.
But that's what I mean. That I'm not sure where that picture's on my Instagram. But if your Instagram's got a lot of stuff like that, then maybe it's not based on mixing those things. But if it's talking stuff like that, and it is
pictures, it's nude people.
Look, what picture? Sorry.
If you look on my Twitter and you go to my liked,
all
the dirty. But on my Instagram, it's clean Christian lady.
Christian lady.
You need to.
I am not good at social media, right? But it is something you do need to be very careful of that person you're portraying in social media and what else you're doing. So the picture, I never saw the picture, is possibly not an issue if the picture was done correctly in terms of coming from the school or whoever organised it, being like, we've done this in a picture of the event. But if it's coming from a site where the majority of the stuff in that site isn't family appropriate,
I think that's where the problem. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't a school picture as far as I was aware. It was whoever she was with. I could be wrong.
I think even though the person did lots of things that I would never have done, and I do think they were just not the right person for the job, personally speaking. And I think since then it has been revealed she really wasn't, because she's no longer a part of the drag scene. So this person's no longer part of it. She's gone now, but
this is like something
she's still. But what happened was it got to the point where it was like, this isn't even about the kids. This is just homophobes having an opportunity to beat down on gay people and beat down on someone who at the time, said they were a transgender woman, and whether she still identifies as that, I'm not sure.
But that's where the school should have stood up and went, right, hold on.
Another thing I need to point out, though, is that the reason they decided to do a drag queen story time is that the pupil council, they were going to be learning about LGBT issues, and the pupils literally said, can we have a drag queen story time? Can we have someone come in? And the teachers organised it. They let the parents know, and as far as I'm aware, most parents were just fine with it, and you're like, yeah, whatever. There was the odd person that was a bit like,
they were realistically fine up with it until after it. That's when the problem was.
Just when I say that, there was I don't know why you're getting the full comment in there, but someone has commented on the YouTube live, because we're on both Facebook and YouTube, potentially Twitter, but I'm not exactly sure how the Twitter lives work. Where they've said, they think the issue is the parents were not informed beforehand. Now, I would have assumed that the parents would have been informed in some way, but maybe things have changed and are different. And there should have been communicating with the parents, and their asking that maybe the parents should have been able to meet the drag queen beforehand, which again I sort of agree with. If you are trying something
Yeah.
that is new, I understand that with that school it was pupil led and they'd asked for this, but I think there is a responsibility when you are organising stuff like this to be
That's
aware
it.
of potential backlash or issues and get in front of them.
Yeah,
And
if anything, if anything for me, it's not even about making sure the parents are okay with it. It's just making sure that the performer isn't going to get cyberbullied, and also to really cover their tracks.
You're never going to. There's no way of ensuring that performer's not going to be cyberbullied because, let's be honest,
Yeah, I guess.
on the internet, people are
There's
cunts,
always trolls
right?
everywhere. Yeah.
It's always going to happen. I was more responding specifically to that comment that, yeah, it probably would have been a good idea if the school had thought, right, we're going to do this. Let's have a thing
Let's
where
meet
the
them.
parents can come, you know, and the night before, the week before, and they've this opportunity to see it's not a, you know,
Yeah.
this is what
Yeah,
it is.
That's it. That's
been
it.
there.
You know what I mean?
think,
It's fear of the unknown.
Yeah, there was actually another example of this happening. I think it was a few months beforehand in 2019, I believe it was.
Oh,
Basically, it was a
please tell.
school, and I think up Fife, Dundee area, I can't mind, east, north of Scotland. There was a private school, a secondary school, by the way. So like this was like teenagers, where it was the same situation. They were having an LGBT like pride thing. They decided to put on an under 18 show in the school, and this was arranged by the pupils and pupil led. And you know, they were just advertising it. There was no issues with any of the performers. And what happened was this, I'm just going to say it, this prick from the Scottish family party decided to make a big massive video and put up one of the performers' videos and saying this person's disgusting, this person's inhumane, they should not be allowed children ever, this is disgraceful, this is blah 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 blah. And they were posting their Instagram, they were posting their Twitter saying get this person and doxing them really. And it was just horrible to watch, and it was so frustrating. Like, and the performance they did use, it was a pretty sexual performance, but that's up to them. And it's explaining to these people. It's like, for me, the biggest issue is that the only reason they're having such a problem with what a person does in their personal life is because they're gay. Because we're being held to an unfair standard. We're being held to this incredibly unfair standard. If like, I know many people who have been on a night out and bumped into like their 5-year-old's teacher, getting pissed, doing whatever, you know. And like, there was that comedian, forgotten his blooming name, the big tall comedian who does that show Cuckoo. You know the one I'm on about? Greg Davis. Greg Davis. He was on Graham Norton. Greg Davis was on Graham Norton. He was talking about what it was like when he was a drama teacher, like, and I think in the 2000s. And he told so many stories about how he didn't like the kids, about how night before shifts he would get pissed on school trips, he would get absolutely wasted. And no, everyone thought it was hilarious. No one questioned his judgment. No one questioned him. But the minute a drag performer who in their other spare time, doesn't matter what they do around the kids, it's like, oh, no. This is a problem.
Exactly. I feel like it's that fear like we used to have back in the day where they're like, oh, they're deviants, they're pedophiles, they're all of this. I feel like that's still there. It still
like
is.
The homophobia and the transphobia and general anti-LGBT sentiment is the fact that they have to question us. It's the fact that they automatically think, I don't know if my kid should be learning about this. Why? We're not talking about sex. We're talking about love. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about
real life stories.
We're talking about real people here. We're talking about people who go into relationships with people just like them. We're talking about people who have maybe born in a... There's nothing to do with sex at all.
Yeah.
They think of that as us.
No.
They think of us as sex. And I know plenty of gay people who aren't bothered with sex. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's where the homophobia lies. And it's that kind of thing where I think, you know, it's like what I was saying at the very beginning, what we do is political because people are going to look at us and think we're deviants. And we're constantly having to prove ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm really going to take it a completely different way.
Uh-huh.
I've went back to school ever since I left school. I've been back there, and every year performed. And every year you think, right, something bad's going to happen. But I've had the last time, especially, I had parents messaging me saying thank you for doing what I did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it's like you're teaching what it was.
Yeah.
Like I remember, so I went back and like I've done a few times where I met my ex.
Right.
But every year I went back and I'd done something. So this year I went back and I essentially done it as the treatment of gays. I said, that sounds bad. I don't mean it like that. But like I wanted to make it more aware. So like, and do you remember the video that went around ages ago? And it was like people on YouTube coming out. And it was like, I'm gay and whatever.
Yeah.
So like, like things like that played in the background. I'd included things like people who couldn't get married, things like that. So it was all things like that. So I remember I came out.
Right.
I did whatever. The first number I did whatever, and it was big. And then I went to the costume and he came back and just slowly it kind of changed. Finish where I am, what I am. I'm a camp queen, I'm going to finish it with that.
Yeah.
But then after that, I had teachers come up to me. Like, what the hell? How did someone went to this school, managed
and went through that
to teach a full assembly hall of children LGBT history, and I think I did it in 7 minutes. Like, well done.
Yeah.
And then I had parents messaging me, like, see that way, like you see that, message notification, like someone wants to message you, hi there, I'm who my son goes to this school, and you just go, oh shit.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go, yeah.
And it's like my son's came home asking me all these questions. Thank you so much. He's never been open about it before.
Oh.
And it's things like that. It's great. I know a boy that I speak, like, not in a perfect way.
Yeah.
But like a boy every now and again, and he's asking me things. He wants to be a drag queen, and he's asking me things. He's scared to come out to his mum, this, that, and the next thing. So I think a complete different way, and it comes down to one person to be in the head that changes it all. I've never had an issue. The teachers have always been fine. I see the head teacher, we speak, like, I've never had a problem. Nearly had said a Madeline McCann joke once. That was a wee bit dodgy.
Yeah.
But other than that, he thinks it's great. As well as I went to a school when I did Ayrshire Pride in Troon. And they this school wanted to do like a bake sale or something like that. And I went in and I was speaking to them on the day. And they were just like, they're so happy you did this because now the full school essentially did like a full pride parade around the school. And it never, the teacher was like, thank you so much. I'm like, I was drunk when I messaged you, so it's okay. So it takes one person to be a dickhead about it to make everyone else go, I can't. She did. The Queen we were talking about in Glasgow that did the Queen story time, I think there's nothing wrong with that. Was it the wrong choice? Possibly. But it just took that one person that wanted to be a cunt. Do you know what I mean? That ruined it for her. Fair enough, a lot of things came out afterwards that should have been out a long time before that. But
that wasn't related to the actual incident.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the
they were completely unrelated.
Or fear of just not what you're used to. And because, I mean, Section 28 was still in force until a few years ago. I mean, people think of Section 28 as being this historic thing from the Thatcher years. Section 28 was still in use until a couple of years ago. So you've got parents who have came from maybe having a more accepting view, even though they were never taught about it. Other parents that have been brought up and all they've known is a very sort of strict, this is this and that is that. I don't think a lot of it does come from hate and ignorance, but a lot of it just comes from fear of the unknown and what they've been taught and brought up with, and
that's it.
So it's like stuff like that. If your only experience of it is this, or if your experience of drag queens are, on holiday, right, where it is maybe a family show, but it's not family friendly. It's over sort of sexualized. It's big men in big frocks doing a lot of inappropriate things. And you're like, that's fine on holiday when I'm sitting with my kids and yeah, you can see the drag queen with the big balloons and all that. But they don't want seeing that in sort of schools because they don't understand the different aspects. Like many of these people who will moan about a drag queen getting into school to a drag queen story time wouldn't think twice about taking their kids to the panto, and there's not much of a difference. But it is this sort of fear of the unknown, of understanding that these drag performers that are speaking to their kids have been probably and are human beings as well.
I wonder if the reason they have no problem going to a pantomime is because they can laugh at us in a sense, whereas if we were in a drag queen story time, they need to treat us like a person. Is that, I don't know if I'm talking about us here, but do you know what I mean? I wonder if that's the difference for a lot of people.
But I think that depends on what you're doing. Especially a drag queen story time. I personally think the drag queen story time should be approachable and laughed with, not laughed at, but laughed with. Similar to in panto, you're in the joke. You know what I mean? Anyone that's in drag and panto, whether that is playing Dame, Principal Boy, or whatever, is in on the joke. And I know that there's an awful lot of backlash from activists and LGBT campaigners and women's rights groups that want to get rid of a lot of panto tropes because they see them as sexist or stuff like that. And I understand. But it is sort of like parents having to understand. For me, it is that sort of gateway in, and it is about education, not just for the kids, because the kids are more open-minded. It's education of like sort of like the parents as well. So if schools
the older generation,
doing this, I think it is worth your while trying to involve the parents in it beforehand slightly. Not what is your opinion if you say no, we're not going to do it? Basically saying this is what's happening, this is what's doing the curriculum, but here's a taster evening for the parent for you to understand what's going on, and so that you're able to ask questions, so that if your kids do come home and ask questions, you're more prepared with what the response is going to be, because a lot of it is just going to be fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Very, very that. I mean, from personal perspective, my mum was born in communism. She was brought up having a strict set of mindset. So, you know, coming out for me was there's, you know, many queer people does this and say, oh, I'm bisexual. So, you know, you kind of keeping that hope in their mind that one day I will marry a woman and one day I will have kids and settle down and all of that. But then this came along and I had to educate my mum on every single thing that I went through. And when I went through my dark times, when I went through my self-harm, when I went through being bullied for just being me, I had to explain that to her, what it is like from my perspective. Because to her, at first, it was a mental illness. Like, that's what she told me, and I was 13. So you can just only imagine what was going on through my mind. And, you know, it was hard at first, but now she's my biggest fan. And she creates collages of me in drag. Like, you know, she loves it now. But that's go back into what you were saying. Parents should be involved in all of this, and parents should be educated just as much as children are.
Yeah,
I agree with that, to be fair, because I'm the same boat. Like when I started drag, I started when I was 17, and I did it behind my family's back, and I did it until I kind of learned a wee bit more, and then it was just kind of like I had to kind of put it in, and my mum was very like, but now she's perfectly fine. Like before I joined chat earlier on, she was taking a picture for me back there. But that's kind of, so I'm with you, but I think it's all about, again, parents' generation, because no offence, Effie, you're older, but I think you got into drag through panto though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Which is
I'm an actor who then came. Well, so I did drag previously, stopped doing drag, then started doing it again when I started doing like panto, and did panto, doing the odd sort of promotional thing for panto, and like an extra wee bit here and there of, oh, can you host this show? Can you do that? Organising shows with sort of Sally Starshine and Forming the Vesta Girls, and then get back into doing drag as drag rather than just fuck, we'll bring the dame in.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of Ada, from a family perspective, although it's just my mum, and easy to into drag, not that she cares or anything. And when I say not that she cares, not in a negative way, because I was an actor, and it was just I was an actor who played these parts, who now plays these parts in pubs, clubs, theatres across the country and across Europe, rather than being a boy who wants to put on women's clothing and go out.
Yeah. See, that's my point.
Yeah.
Like, quite a nice, for you doing panto, it was quite a
Aye.
stepping stone.
Yeah.
For me, like full on, I was working, doing bingo, whatever. Probably same for Chrissy. Same for
Aye.
Jazz. So our parents are more like, drag queens. Your mum was like, oh,
Aye.
panto dames. Panto dames
Aye.
are okay. If that makes
That's
sense.
it.
No, but
Oh,
it does. But that's also what I mean about in terms of these parents that have a fear or maybe a hesitation about drag queens being near their kids. That's why I say panto is that sort of stepping stone. The parents don't have an issue generally with panto and things like that. And it's just bringing that midway point of bringing the panto into the kids so that they then see what the difference is. Because what I do in panto, whether it's a normal panto and an adult panto, or what I do in the family shows of panto compared to the adult shows is different.
Yeah,
what you see me do in like a Vesta Girls produced show can be different depending what the show is, compared to what I do in Funny Boys, compared to what I do if I'm booked to do like an hour's cabaret slot somewhere. My acts, it's the same old shit all the time, but it's geared to the audience that you're performing for. And I think it is a case of a lot. If the parents' only experience of drag queens is something that maybe was hypersexualized or similar or very adult-based content, I can understand why a parent wouldn't want a drag queen going into their school, but they're going to be fine to take the kids to the panto because they know that's safe. It's just giving them the assurances and the peace of mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I think for me, it's just frustrating that we have to think all of these extra steps just to do what we do.
Beers.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes it's just to protect ourselves, really.
But I would say it's a strange sort of middle time at the moment where there is so much that is accepted and nobody bats an eyelid at now. That I think people get a wee bit more shocked when there is any resistance compared to maybe 10, 15 years ago where none of this would be happening and people knew who is that?
I'm sorry, I don't know how to turn it off on my computer.
Just 10.
That is you.
Yeah. Like how
Then mute them. Mute the conversation.
did I do that?
Well, do it through your phone, darling. You go on your phone, you go on your messenger, mute the conversation, so that way they won't message you.
Oh no, I like the messages. It makes me feel good.
And turn the bloody volume down, love.
Then I can't hear you. Blind, deaf. I might as well be in a wheelchair this time next week.
Right. Well, you use earbuds or similar in future, so that you hear the beat, but we don't hear the beat.
That's it.
You didn't hear the beat. Carry on your chat.
Anyway, that is now near enough time for us to finish the launch show of Not So Straight Talk. If anyone's got any sort of like fun, happy things to sort of finish on for the last 10 minutes. However, if anyone is watching and wants to continue the conversation on with us, we will do an after, or some of us will be there for an after show chat for half an hour after this finishes. There'll be a sort of 15-minute break, and then we'll come on for a sort of after show chat if anyone wants to talk to us more. But for the last sort of 10 minutes of sort of fun, happy drag views or local views that you want to sort of cover, so we can end in a wee high note here, or anything that you want to plug. Anyone do anything that they would like to sort of plug or talk about for the last couple of minutes?
I mean,
Go on, darling.
at this point of the year, I was meant to be doing a recital in drag, and I was hoping to do it on Zoom, but it got fucking cancelled, didn't it? Thanks to COVID. And I was going to do it in drag.
I'll be loud.
I'm literally doing drag music for my fucking masters. What a fucking bitch.
I love that for you. I really do.
I know. I'm just thinking, what's a way to merge the two art forms so I become even more of a failure?
With Paul's cover girl on the trumpet.
Saxophone. Get it to your head.
Why just be a disappointment for one thing? Double up your disappointment anyway. Might as well do it in drag and be an artist.
I know. Do you know what? It's like a suit of armor. If it's shite, it's alright. It's only drag. Just
It is, isn't it? That's why you love drag.
Oh well.
Sasha,
The
do you have
feeling
anything
is,
coming up?
isn't it?
Anything coming up that you want to plug? Anything coming up that you want to plug, promote, or talk about? If you don't, it's fine. Is Sasha still there? Is Sasha froze?
No, sorry. I was.
I mean, all my shows are cancelled at the moment, so I can't really plug anything. Well, I can plug this. Soon coming, hopefully next month, I'm going to be starting a new page on Instagram where I'm going to be doing little drag sing-alongs. So I hope it's going to be a lot of fun. So keep an eye out.
Mm-hmm.
It's at Chrissy Friday.
Yay!
I'll try and if our future ones to try and get we are popping all the sort of socials up for the different sort of people and all that. I don't know if anything I'll particularly need to plug. I mean, there is the anti-FA prints and pens available. If anyone's interested, they can send me a wee message to anti-FA on Facebook and stuff like that. In the after show talk, one of the things that if people have an opinion on that I'd want to talk about is how COVID and lockdowns have affected LGBT nightclubs and people. But that is only because I've now agreed to an interview about it on Monday. So I need to know what I'm talking about. So although I'll have my opinion and my experience, if anyone is joining us in the after show chat, that's one of the things I'll be sort of talking about there before I do an interview for, I think it's Loud and Proud Liverpool. I think that's what it's called. The full details will be available on Anti-Effie's Facebook page, as well as Not So Straight Talk, the Vesta Girls, and all that.
All that fish.
Jack as well. Anyone, any final comments before I try and remember the sign-off information?
I will finally.
Sorry, what was that, Sasha?
I'm finally getting my tour this summer, potentially.
Potentially, if things are open.
If things are open.
If.
I will back to theatres this time as well. And theatres as well. With Still Fat, Still Single. And I'll be back in Paris this year.
Will you?
Cinderella, I think I'm doing.
Well, can we just all look? Go on. Sorry.
So, no, but what were you going to say? Because I'm literally about to do the thanks for watching, blah, blah, blah. So,
well, I was just going to say, can we just take a look at us and just appreciate how beautiful we are? Because I'm feeling myself and I'm feeling used too. So,
I'll do the sign off, but you have sort of fun like that while I try and do all this. So, thanks for watching Not So Straight Talk, our launch show. We'll be back next Saturday, 8 o'clock, where the panel will include the reigning Miss Drag UK, Auntie Ginger, and Polaris, right, along with some of the other panelists. I can just remember that you're definitely doing it. If you've enjoyed yourself, please like, share, follow on our Facebook, social medias. If you've got any topics you'd like us to discuss next week, you can send us a message on our social medias.
Favorite
Sorry?
Favorite porn category? That should be something we discuss.
Okay.
What's your Kane Club?
In the after show chat, we'll get into why I'm now surprised that is popping up. We all you hope have a pleasant evening. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. And I forgot to get that said. Stay safe, and we'll see you all next week. If you want to join us for the after show chat, Kiki, whatever you want to call it, we'll be back on the. I'll just do it from this. I'll do it from the Not So Straight Talk page at the moment. We'll be back on the Not So Straight Talk page in about 15-20 minutes. Right, just give us all time to go and sort out ourselves, and we'll be back at 10:15 with our late show. Thank you. Take care. Be safe. Chatty bye.
Bye.